What's up, everyone? My name is Abby. I like to read, and I'm going to talk about the books that I read in the month of November. So I ended up reading 5 books in November, 3 physical books, and 2 audiobooks. 5, I usually read more than that. I'm just super busy with work, and a lot of times I come home and I'm just like not motivated to read. So yeah, I didn't read a whole lot. But I'll talk about the books that I did end up reading. So the first book I actually listened to on Audible, and that is A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa. This is the second book in the Bargainer series. This is an adult, what is it classified as? Fantasy? Romance? What does Goodreads say? Okay, I obviously don't know how to work Goodreads on my laptop because I can't find the genre, but I think it's like fantasy, paranormal, romance. I think that's the genre. And I ended up giving this book 8 out of 10 stars. It was pretty good. It's one of those reads where it's good in the moment, but then afterwards I don't really remember what happened. So at the time I thought it was 8 stars, but now I don't think I could tell you what happened in that book at all. So obviously I can't give you a description. I'll give you a description of the first one though. The first one is about a girl who's a siren, and when she was a younger teenager, she made a bunch of bargains with the bargainer, and when she's older now, he's coming to collect his debts. So that's the premise of the story. The second book I read was Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Covenant series. I ended up giving this book 9 out of 10 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is a reread for me, and I'm really excited to continue on with the series. This is about a girl named Alex, and she is a half-blood. So there's the pures, and then the half-bloods, and the half-bloods are kind of seen as like less than the pures because they're like mixed with human blood or whatever. And something is special, obviously, it's like the chosen one trope. Something special about Alex, and yeah, you have to read it to find out more, but it's really good. I love Jennifer L. Armentrout, so I definitely recommend this book. The next book I read in November is Rebel by Amy Santerra. This is the second and final book in the reboot duology. Another one of those books where I don't exactly remember what happened, but I remember somewhat enjoying it. I'm trying to think what happened in this book. Guys, a lot has happened since I read this book, since I read all of these books, so I'm a little forgetful. I gave it 8 out of 10 stars, so it was a pretty good read. The first book, I remember the first books better than the second ones. I don't know why, but this series is about a girl, I don't remember her name, named Rin, and they're in a society kind of, I guess, post-apocalyptic after like a disease, and children, when they die, they will sometimes reboot and become alive again, and the longer they are dead, the stronger they are and the less human they are. So this book is about a girl named Rin who was dead 178 minutes, and that is like the record. They've never seen anything more. So she's like super strong and like very like void of emotion. And then she meets a guy named Callum, and he is the number 22, which is like basically still human. So she trains him, and then stuff happens, and rebelling against the system, of course. I guess it's kind of like not dystopian, it's, I don't know, dystopian style of like rebelling against the system and stuff like that. So I actually listened to this next book on Audible, but I have the physical copy. Okay, so I totally messed up here. I actually listened to Shadow and Bone last month in October, and I listened to Siege of Storm in November, so I'm just gonna ignore all of what I'm saying right now. Basically, I thought Siege and Storm was pretty boring. I gave it 6 out of 10 stars. I'm currently listening to the third book, and it's still very boring. I'm just not a fan of this trilogy. So yeah, 6 out of 10 stars. Didn't really like it. And yeah, that's about it. And the last book that I read in November is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire Another one by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in her From Blood and Ash series, I believe. And this book is so big. I think I started reading this like 1 or 2 months ago, like before November. And it took me so long to read it. It's just such a big book. And the beginning of it was kind of boring. Not much happened. This whole book is them like on a journey to somewhere. Like start to finish, they're on the road traveling. I don't really like whole books that are based on traveling. I think it could like be a little boring. So I gave this book 8 out of 10 stars. It was average. It was pretty good, but definitely not as good as the first one. So those are all the books that I read in the month of November. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you read in November, and if you read any spectacular books that I should pick up. Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. I am just, voice crack. What's up, everyone? My name is Abby. I like to read. My necklace is on backwards.